All right, greetings once again, fellow traders. This is Michael Storm, also known as Robin Hood, and today I'd like to go over a bunch of various things with you, but the bulk of the message is going to be on destroying your Forex trading myths, and I want to talk about trading with the trend, never add to a losing position, and choosing a stop loss. Okay? Those are the three big things that traders, especially beginning traders, want to know about is, where should I put my stop loss? And they've had it beaten into their heads that they should never trade against the trend. And another thing that people have had beaten into their head is to never add to a losing position. I'd like to ask you, where did you learn that from? Okay? Where did you learn never add to a losing position, never trade against the trend? So we're going to go over that, but before we do, I want to talk to you a little bit about the importance of correlations and the importance of top-down analysis. Now, every day that I go into my live room, I have to be ready for the Forex market. What is it going to throw at me? First thing in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning when I wake up and I get started, I'll spend about 1 or 2 hours checking out all the news for the evening that happened and the night before. And I want to know what happened. Where are we in the forest? Where are we in the Forex forest? I will drop all of my charts on all 8 monitors, all 30 to 40 charts that matter, will immediately get shifted over to 1-hour charts. One of the very first things I'll look at when I'm doing a top-down analysis is I'll look at the dollar index. I want to know where this dollar index is trading. Every trader should do the right thing, and each day should do this top-down analysis. When we start our day, we have to understand we've been sleeping for 8 hours. There could have been more hours of downtime in the evening. You might have been watching a movie, hanging out with the family, whatever. And so you've got a good length of time where stuff has changed. All right, let's face it, nothing moves in a straight line. Everything goes up and down all over the place. It's a constant shift. So I will look at the daily chart of the US dollar index for starters, and I want to determine what kind of a trend are we in. Obviously, we're in an uptrend right now. Okay, but when I look at the hourly chart, I can see many good downtrends. Now, in our live room, and these are all fresh trades. They're very fresh on my memory for the last couple of days. I can remember today and yesterday and the day before very well. If I'm going to jump back more days than that, my memory might get a little bit hazy. But, at least the past 3 or 4 days are well in my memory. Now, over here, when this was happening, I don't know if you see this big bar right here. This is a massive 1-hour bar. This 1-hour bar ignited an incredible daily sell. The news came out. The news was very bearish on the US dollar. Somebody turned dovish and made some dovish comments, and it just got slammed very quickly. Now, before that happened, right up here inside of this bar, I noticed 15-minute sell bar and 15-minute double topping action. And being a guy that likes to keep my finger on the pulse of the Forex market, I'm not just watching this, I'm watching everything else. I'm trying to read it all together, just like a musical symphony is being played out before my eyes. And you know how a musical symphony will have peaks and valleys and crescendos, and this is the same way. You've got euphoric moves, you've got crashing moves. Okay, so right before this happened, it was about an hour before, I basically announced to my entire trade room, I really sense that the dollar is going to crash. I mean, it's just going to crash, and we need to be long euro, we need to be long pound, because the dollar is going to go down. The news came out, and the dollar rocked down. But when it hit into this level right over here where my cursor is showing, could you just do me a favor and look left right here? You see all this? This is the supply area. Okay, it's a previous support level right in here at the bottom, and pretty much right there is where it starts. This is all supportive, and we had gone up for days. So when we crashed into this area, and we crashed into the 200 period moving average, it happened rather quick. I was booking my trades as fast as I could. Really, I'm getting out of the euro, I'm getting out of the pound, because they had soared. All right, and I told all my roomies, this is too much, this is overdone, we need to flip to the other side. And so we actually did begin flipping to the other side. In this whole area here, we started to short the euro, short the pound, short Australia, short New Zealand, and we went long other things that had dollar in it. Now, granted, it only bounced a little bit. It gave a small hourly sell signal, and this is what happened through the rest of the evening. But the very next day, we had our move up. And so we all, made money when it came up here. But we were heavily focused on what had happened the day before. We had such a huge daily sell bar and a little bit of follow through. And so this up move, when everything went up, once again, we started to scale out of our positions, and we felt that it would come back, and it did. Now, I don't have the ability right now, I don't think, to click into the 15-minute chart because all of this is going to go away. But we had drawn out that there was a 15-minute triangle that was building in here. And for a little while, I had said to everyone in my room, I really feel that at some point we're going to burst out of this triangle and that we're going to head up. And I used the fib tool to draw in where I thought, we might potentially go. And I actually had this labeled out quite well for my fellow roomies. And I put it, it was either here or here that I put my line. And I said to everyone, when it breaks out, it's probably going to pop for a couple of hours. And when it comes up and starts to kiss this broken support, this is an area of support, right? I mean, hopefully I'm talking to traders that at least know a little bit about support and resistance. This used to be support. It used to be support here and here, and it tried again right here. So I'm thinking when we come up and we touch this level, that it's going to have the ability to stall out, and that we might possibly hit the 786 fib, is what I told everybody. And at that point, we want to flip out of our positions and get short the dollar again. Now, these are trades that I actually took in these last multitudes of days, and currently I'm just talking to you about the dollar index and its importance, but we're going to go over the euro, going to go over the pound, etc. You can see here that when it did happen, it finally put in an hourly sell, and once again we had a beautiful retracement that came back down into support. Okay, and the reason so is because of all of this congestion right here where the 15-minute triangle took place before the breakout. And a return to this area, I want to scale out of my positions and flip once again to be long the US dollar down in here. So in the last few days we nailed this pretty well. When we were up into these areas, I told all my roomies, I think we're going to crash through this level, we're going to crash through that level, and then I drew out over here this level and said that we might even be able to come all the way down possibly and touch this. And we were basing it on everything. When I say the charts, I mean the charts. I don't just mean 1 hour. I mean everything. Daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, etc. We are constantly doing a bar by bar analysis. And the thing is time, it moves along. It just doesn't stop, and everything changes through time. All right. So we got short dollar up in here, and as we crashed through these lows, we're all very happy, but we started to scale out of our positions, and when we came down here, we were gone. All right. Once again, we got long dollar in this bottom. Things moved up well. When we hit this area, I believe this was yesterday. Let me just clean this up really quickly. Yep. This was yesterday before the day actually closed. And I said to my roomies, guys, this is rather high right now. I'm sensing some 15-minute sell action here. I think we need to be short. Okay, so we got short dollar right in here. But as time went on, this is going into the evening, it only pulled back a little bit. Overnight, while I'm sleeping, things went back up again. Right? And I woke up in the morning, saw that we were up here, and once again we added into positions that were short the US dollar. When we did crash down to this level, all right, this is where let me try and get this, I'm sorry, this is where we were scaling out. But I'm going to be honest with you and say that I told my roomies at this point that I thought we could potentially go further, that we might even make it down here today. That did not happen. Okay, I was wrong. So every once in a while, you get it right, or you might be temporarily wrong, just a little bit for a short length of time, and then there's other times where you're just flat out dead wrong. This was one of them. We came down, we did good. I thought we were going to go lower, but we didn't, and we're right back up again. So I think it's very, very important that every trader should look at the US dollar index several times a day. What I choose to do myself, and I recommend to all my roomies as well, is that we download some kind of a clock. You can use the B clock modified, which is pretty good. It'll have a little clock on actually right on your chart, and tell you how much time is left. But this is another one I like to use too. It's just called ClockX. It's a free download you can get online. It's CLOCKX, ClockX. You can set an alarm to go off every 15 minutes, and you can even set alarms to go off every hour. And for me, every 15 minutes I am toggling into 15-minute charts. Every hour I do toggle into 15-minute charts. How many of them? All of them. Every one. Every chart that matters. Okay? You take the majors and you go times them by themselves, and this is what you get. Every chart that matters, okay, is displayed right before your eyes. These are the only ones I trade. I don't have to trade anything else. This is it. All right. So the next thing is when the dollar is really, really high, we're going to tend to see gold be on the south side. I look at this as a mirror. Okay, dollar is up, up, up and away, and gold will be crashing. All right, and when gold is rocking higher, usually the dollar is going down. So this is another one. I want to refresh your memory a little bit. I don't know how many gold traders I have listening to me on YouTube, but several days back, I'm now on a daily chart. I'm going to blow this up just a little bit bigger so that you can see it. Several days back, we were actually short gold, way up in here. And we had gotten long, down low, we had gotten long gold, and we were expecting it to really go crazy and really go up. And we took that trade, we were on it, it went higher. But when it started to hit into these peaks right up here where I'm drawing a circle with my cursor, we started to take little baby slices of gold short. We added and added and added. We had a nice crash here, which was okay. I think I got out of a whole bunch of positions, but as memory serves me, I still had at least one or two pieces that were on. I thought that we would go lower, and I didn't take them off. So when we went up in the next couple of days, I once again got short gold. And as the days went by, I was telling my roomies, guys, really, we want to see 1200. 1200 is a strong psychological level. We want to see that, and if I can get 1200, I'm going to bail out. And at this point, I believe I had 6 or 7 pieces, little small trades, nothing too radical. I had collected 6 or 7 of them on the short side, and by the time we hit here, I was gone. I was out every one of them. In fact, in this red bar right here is where I exited them all, and I started to scale in long. The reason is I didn't know for sure that I would see 1200. I was only hoping. I didn't have a guarantee. Nobody has a guarantee of anything. Okay, a lot of people want to do one trade. They just want to get in one trade and pick a stop loss and pick a target and just leave it. Just set it and forget it. And I look at that as a very lazy way to trade. You're just expecting the market to hand you a whole lot of pips without you really doing anything. Personally, I don't like that way of trading at all. I don't recommend it. I'm actually very much against it. I preach against it highly. And I like to scale into and out of positions, but I like to go in a very small way so that I have a chance to add if I get a price improvement. Now this big red bar right here, I started buying and buying and buying, and I think by the time we hit 1200, by the way, please notice we went lower. We went to 1197. Now I didn't know I was going to 1197. I had no clue. And I'm telling you right now, I didn't buy 1197. My last piece was at like 1200 or 1201. And so we're all long, and we're wanting it to go up. As the days went by, please notice this is about 6 or 7 days higher, okay? I actually exited every last one on this day, this red day right here. I was out, completely gone. It ended up going higher for a few days. I really didn't trade it too much. As it pulled back, we did get long a few pieces, but nowhere near as much as before. And as it rocked up like this, I'm gone. Now, if you look at the hourly chart, you're going to see a bear harmonic. And so we've been looking at this for a couple of days in my trade room. This is the B target. Now, you don't always make it here. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But the people that have a say in this, I guess, that have calculated it, say that you do reach this about 67% of the time. You will tend to reach that before you ever blow out the top of the PRZ zone, which is rather, it's rather high. It's way up here. Okay, so for a few days we've been on the short-minded side with the gold. Okay, and if you notice the candles, the mannerisms with which they're trading, these are only a few points at a time. So it's not a lot of money, and it's not a really big trade. It's just a few points here and there, and it can take an entire hour just to get a couple of points of fall. So for the past couple of days, I've been telling my roomies, you know, this is really just like a scalping instrument, and if we find good 5-minute buys, we'll take them. If we find good 5-minute sells, we'll take them. But we're just going to take them for a few pips. Nothing too dramatic, okay? Now I'm shifting over to the euro right now, and try and make sure that we can see a little bit more here. This entire area that I am circling my cursor right now, me and my entire trade room were long. I am doing nothing but buying down here. We were trading underneath 1300, all right, and we had made it as low as 112.60 something, so we went about 40 pips under that 113 level. And I'm nothing but long. I'm constantly buying 5-minute buys, and you know, I realize I'm not breaking out. I'm not really going anywhere fast, you know, and so definitely did a bunch of various scalps, but we did hold on to some of these trades long. And as we rocked up here into the highs, once again, we were bailing out. So a lot of people will say stuff like, and I've heard this a lot lately, and it's kind of wild, and well, I guess I'd like to share this with you, but you know, I don't want anybody getting mad at me. But a lot of people have said to me in the past couple of weeks, I just trade differently than you, Robinhood. I just trade differently than you. I can't tell you how many people have said that to me. I just trade differently than you. And it really does leave me to scratch my head sometimes and sit there in stunned amazement and total wonder. How is it that somebody can trade different than me and make money? I really have a problem with that. Like, what do you need to see before you're going to decide to all of a sudden get long on euro, or get long on pound, or get short? You know, what do you need to see? Where are you buying it? So I'm yelling, well, not yelling, but I'm preaching to everybody for a long time. Buy it, buy it, buy it. And I keep saying it over and over again. It's dipping. Let's get in. Let's buy again. Let's buy again. And I can't tell you, we had a bunch of them. I had at least 6 or 7 pieces long down here. Okay. And I'm thinking in my mind that others are like, you know, this sucks. I can't believe you're doing this. You're trading against the trend. It's bearish. It's down. You know, you're telling me to buy, and it just keeps going down, and it's going against me. And now you're in a third piece, and now you're in a fourth piece, and all 4 pieces are negative, and you're negative. You got nothing but negative trades on, and you're sitting here adding to a losing position. Why are you doing this? This is against the trend. I don't understand it. And the only answer that I have for this, and I think it's a good one and a proper one, is keep your finger on the pulse of the market. What is the news? What is the sentiment? What are the traders doing? How are they feeling right now? Okay, is it fear? Is it greed? Is it capitulation? Is it euphoria? What's happening? Where is that US dollar index? Did you look? I mean, you can't just sit here and look at euro. You've got to look at everything else too. And if you keep your finger on the pulse of the market, you really will see it, feel it, sense it. And the more that you trade, like I got 18 years, Okay, I don't know how else to say it. I just know when we're getting ready to ramp up. It's based on, the fact I'm simply watching 8 monitors and I'm watching 40 different pairs. So when something breaks out like mad, what are you doing? I mean, this thing is going ballistic. It's going crazy high. Now here's a fresh, brand spanking new trend. So if you want to trade with the trend, then what are you doing? Are you getting long in here in this hourly buy bar? Are you getting long here in this hourly buy bar as you come up to, hi there, I'm resistance. Hello, I'm resistance. Over here, hi, I'm also, I used to be support. I'm as resistive as can be right now. You telling me that you're buying on the way up? Okay, I bought down here on the way down. As we're surging higher, I'm releasing. I'm getting out of all the trades I've already got. They're rocking. They're going into huge profits. And every time the thing spikes, I'm like, click, I'm out. Click, click, I'm out another one. And before you know it, I don't have anything left. I'm just saying. So if you try and keep the dollar index in your mind, all right, that we just looked at, like, literally 16 minutes ago or so, this is where we're in the high, all right? And I'm getting short euro. I am getting short. Every ounce of this, I'm like, short it, short it, short it. I keep looking at these spikes. I'm looking for 5-minute sell bars, and I add into a whole bunch of positions. I'm collecting them short and waiting for the next down move. When I got that down move right there, I'm telling you flat out, I emptied myself of everything. It's all gone. It's all gone. And by the time we hit this red candle, I was once again buying. And the reason is because we're just coming into support. Support and resistance really isn't that hard of a concept. It shouldn't be for people to understand. It's pretty easy to see on a daily and a 4-hour and a 1-hour. These larger time frames show you where the support and the resistance is. Now, it's not always a hard and concrete number. It can be a stretchy, elastic area, and you don't know exactly where it's going to stop. And I feel like a lot of traders want that. They want that certainty. They want to know exactly what price I can get in, exactly when it's going to turn, so that they have no drawdown at all. I mean, I feel like a lot of beginning traders they don't even want 5 pips of drawdown, 10 pips of drawdown. My God, if it goes 20 pips of drawdown, they're crying. They're freaking out. They're thinking, oh, I'm stupid. It's 20 pips of drawdown. What do I do? They're sitting there beating themselves up. I don't feel that way. In this red candle over here, I'm getting long. It dips against me and dips against me again and again. I'm collecting pieces. I'm looking for those spike downs. I'm praying for them. Why? I want it to go down so I can get some more. I'm trying to find a price improvement. I'm trying to capture the bottom. Okay? So this is me over here trying to get long. And as it's rocking up, you see it? Let me just go ahead and put this here. All right? I'll take a fib, and let's just draw the fib in. All right? You see the 786 fib level, don't you? I mean, you see the 618 level? Look, as this thing is rocking up here into this, I'm bailing out. I'm saying goodbye. Why? And the reason is because I am looking at the dollar index, and I'm looking at all the other pairs too. When we return and fill a gap and pull back into a channel bottom and start to come into this supply area, don't you think that it's probably a good trade down here? Oh, but what if it goes lower? What if it crashes and comes all the way down here? Well, okay, so let's say it did, let's say that you're getting long, 2 or 3 slices of euro long right here where I'm circling my cursor. And let's say it crashes and comes right back down to here. You telling me that you don't like it enough to get in another piece or two? I do. If I've only got 2 or 3 longs over here and I'm praying for 2 or 3 more, I don't have a problem with buying an extra dip. Okay? So I'm just showing you the trades that we've actually taken in the last couple of days. We were long euro and we were looking for these highs. We were out. We were short. Down here, we were long. I'm just telling you flat out, we were long euro. It went up and I was happy. Okay, I don't have a problem buying dips. I'm going to try and be a little bit more specific now. this right here was our high of today's session. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put a line there so you can see it right there. Now, where I am drawing a circle with my cursor was yesterday. And I was telling all my roomies, buy it, buy it, buy it up. And before the day was out, I am relatively sure that I had something like 5 or 6 pieces of pound dollar long. And it kept going down, and it kept sinking and cracking lower and lower. And I kept saying, people, have faith, trust me, buy it. And we were not just buying this. Okay, right now we've shifted away from US dollar index, we've shifted away from euro, and we're looking at pound. Why was I buying up the pound all here as it's crashing down? Why am I adding to a losing position, and telling everybody, get long pound yen, get long pound Swissy, get long pound Canada, get long pound New Zealand, get long pound AUD. And I swear, it's almost like an eerie silence comes over my trade room when I do that. And I know why. Because a lot of new traders or intermediate traders, they don't understand. They're fearful. They're like, wait a minute now. You just bought 5 slices of pound. You've got 3 slices of pound yen. I had multiple slices of pound New Zealand, pound Australia. Listen, it kept going down. It just kept cracking lower and lower, and I'm buying and telling everybody, add, have faith. You will see, just wait. And I explained it very well to everyone. We wake up this morning, the pound dollar went ballistic, it went crazy, it was way up here at the top of this channel. You're hitting right where I have my cursor. Is this not resistance? It sure is. We were here a couple days ago, and we fell like a stone. Right up here, where I'm drawing my cursor. Weren't we hitting into this resistance? Yes, we were. And I'm bailing out. This is first thing in the morning. I'm like, gone. I'm telling everybody, short it. The reason for that is because we had our finger on pound crosses, all of them. And what I'm going to do now is just jump over to the euro pound and show you that one. All right, so euro pound for a multitude of days, way up here. I'm sorry, actually it goes even further back than that. So let me just keep my honesty level going over here. All of this up move, I was telling everyone, short it, get short, it's going down, it's going to rock down. For a couple of days, we sat on all these pieces. And I can just imagine people saying, oh, I just trade different than you, Robinhood. I just trade different than you. And I'm sitting there going, how are you making any money? That is the thought that's in my head. In fact, I'd like to jump back even further and just show you over here. You see way back here on this day where that little green bar is and that big thick red one? I'm telling you, for 7 days, I did nothing but buy the euro pound. We were way down in the lows. And I kept saying for 7 days to my roomies, buy it, we're going up. Buy it, we're going up. Just do the right thing. And the reason is because we had looked over all the charts, all of them. We saw that people had been stopped out here. We saw that we were cracking into some great lows. We took a look at more charts than just this, okay? But for 7 days, we're long. And, oh wow, the moving average has actually changed right now. But I had a target area somewhere around here, okay, was my target area. And I woke up one morning and saw this thing just shoot up like mad, hit my target, and I bailed out everything. I got out. You see this entire move right here? These 3 days? Didn't experience any of this right here. Did not take my longs that far. The reason is I just simply didn't know, okay? I did not know that it was going to go that high. If I had known, I mean, heck, I would have held on. But I didn't even hold on to one of them, all right? I bailed them all at one price, made a lot of money, a lot of great trade. It was wonderful. And as we shot up like mad, I started saying, short it. And I drew in that we had many targets. We actually had 5 of them. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with my lines here. We had 5 targets. We hit about 4 of them on the way down, and this was our final target right here. Okay, we never made it. I never actually got there. So when we crashed the other day, we're getting out of the trade. And up in here, for the last couple of days, we have occasionally been shorting it. When we get decent 5-minute sells or decent 15-minute sells, we'll take it, but we're not getting the greatest moves. You know, some of them are okay, and some of them are not. Like this one here was pretty phenomenal. I have to admit, that was great. I shorted it a couple more times in the last few days, and did okay, but not the best. You know, just sometimes it was just 11 pips here, 15 pips there. It wasn't really, you know, anything to write home about. The other trades that we really loved, which, you know, I'm going back into yesterday now, is the pound Swissy. We were all long, and when it went up like this, we're out, every bit of it. Now, think about this for a minute. Look at the chart, okay? I'm going to put a line here, and I'm going to put a line, like, let's say right here. And let's go quickly take a peek at the daily, all right? When it was at the very top, it was glowing green. It was a pseudo daily buy. What is a pseudo daily buy? A pseudo daily buy means the bar isn't closed yet, okay? It looked like a daily buy was trying to form, but the bar wasn't closed. There was a lot of time left on the clock, okay? So when we're way up here like this, what is the trend? The trend is up. So if you say to me, well, I just trade differently than you, Robinhood, you know, that's an uptrend, and I'm gonna buy, I'm not gonna sell. Well, then let's look at the last multitude of hours that have come. What did you do? You bought pullbacks? You're negative. You're down. Now how does it feel? Okay, here's the downtrend. You were telling me here it's in an uptrend, and you only want to be long. Not me. I was long down in here, and I'm gone here. Look at the stochastics. You see these triple peaking stochastics? Is that a sign that you need to be purchasing something? No. Whenever stochastics are up like this, or this, or this is not a buy. Okay? You don't buy when prices are too high and when the trend is about to turn. So what I'd like to say to you is that you desperately need to destroy the Forex myths that have been taught to you by somebody who's not good. I don't know who's teaching this to you. Is it the broker? I mean, who's telling you this? Okay? I'm going to just bring in a drawing tool so that you can see it. Are those stochastics telling you that you should be buying up here, up here? I've never known this to fail. I've been using stochastics for how long? Oh my gosh. I don't know. It's all my life. They're not telling you that any of this here is a long. All right? That's a time to buy? You're going to buy highs? How are you going to make money? You're going to buy this high over here? How are you going to make money? But it's an uptrend. It's an uptrend. I've got to be a buyer. I don't want to fight the trend. Well, how did you make money? But it's an uptrend. It's a daily buy signal. How am I going to fight this? Well, you didn't make any money. I mean, if you sat there and hoped and prayed for a fall and the only thing you were going to do is buy dips, you're negative as heck right now because you're really down. I mean, you're down. My God, man, you're down 12 hours, okay? This is where the stochastics are buried. This is where support is, okay? And I'm saying, well, it's 8 o'clock at night and I'm going to bed soon, so no, I'm not going to buy it. But if I was going to be staying up tonight and I was trading, you know, Asia session and London session, I'm just telling you, I would probably be buying the dips. I would be searching for dips to buy into. I want the 5-minute to crack lower. I want to see violent, ripping spikes down so that it hurts somebody, so that it stops somebody. I want somebody else to get killed so that I can buy. And then I mix it with patience, the super duper high powered magic ingredient. Patience. Buy the dip, okay? And mix with patience until it comes back up again. Have you seen the very last time that pound Swissy is going to move back up? Don't the stochastics do that soon? If they don't do it this way, don't they do a double dip like that and then they start moving up? They do. The charts don't lie. This happens all the time, okay? It's not a sell at this moment. This is a better place to be buying than way up here. All right? So we'll go ahead and look at a couple more pound crosses just because I want to stay on that. I want to stay on one thought process right now. Going way back, we were nothing but long pound Canada, and pound Canada rocked. Okay, it went ballistic. The time to buy is when things are cheap. Traders want to buy stuff that is cheap. Don't you want a deal? You want to be the sucker that pays full price? Go out and pay full retail and get your head lopped off? I don't want to pay full retail. I hate paying full retail. I'll never pay retail again, not so long as I live. I've been a stupid fool in my life, let me tell you. I sure have. 52 years old. I got a lot of experience and a lot of mistakes I've made in life. I can tell you right now, I've been a dumb dipwad, okay? Paying full retail prices. And I don't want to do that. I am a deal finder. And if you're a real Forex trader, if you're somebody who wants to be a real Forex trader, you too are going to do the right thing. You are going to hope and pray for euphoric moves at price points that make sense. And you're going to look to short stuff, mix it with patience and crash, wait for a crash, and then you're going to scale out. And you're going to take things that dip violently like this. You're going to be a buyer. And you're going to mix with patience, wait till the world, regains its collective sanity and things go up. And that's where you're supposed to be scaling out, okay? You're not supposed to work it in reverse. And a lot of people want to work it in reverse. And I just don't get it. I don't understand how anybody can make money when it happens that way. Okay, pound New Zealand, all right? Take a look at this. Do you see the 1 year long triangle right in here? Okay, do you see that? This is a year long. This is a triangle. We had weekly buys pressing through monthly highs. The thing took off like a, let me show you, took off like a bat out of heck. It went up and went through and it rocked up. It hit a fib level and it hit a place that was resistive. And ever since then, it has been crashing. And it's violent and it hurts, no doubt. I mean, you take a look at the let me just scale out a little bit here. I'll try and clean this. Bear with me. I'm trying to get this out to you, and I hope that you'll give me the the patience and just do the best you can to receive it. Okay. Let me get rid of this right now. All right, get back to the daily. Look how low we are. This is insane. Do you see the push that's happened here? This is catastrophic. It's out of control. Why? It has New Zealand in it. Have you been a good boy? Have you been a good girl? Trader? Are you a good trader? Have you taken a look at New Zealand? Have you looked at New Zealand, Canada, New Zealand Swissy, New Zealand dollar, and New Zealand yen? Have you seen the insanity that is going on? You think that's going to last? You think that is really going to last? There's no way. I'm telling you right out, there is no way that that is going to last. Okay? And there's no way that this can last either. This is a move that is out of this world. You don't receive moves like this, but maybe once a year at the most do you ever get something like this. Okay? Yesterday, we saw that this thing was about to move out. And when we were looking at the 4-hour chart, we saw a double bottom. When we looked at the 1-hour chart right in here, we realized this thing is really getting ready to go. And we really need to be long. And we started buying it. And the dips just kept coming and coming. And we kept buying and buying. And I had multitudes of pieces of pound New Zealand. But when it went up like this right here and rocked higher, all I could see across everything, okay, everything that had pound in it, I could see it's overdone. It might have gone a little bit more, maybe, but I'm telling you what, I was out, man. I took everything off and I dropped into the 15-minute charts, and I told my roomies, I actually drew it out right here. And I said this, first thing in the morning, 8 o'clock this morning, it was actually 12 hours ago, and we were way up here, and I said, guys, as soon as it pulls back, get in. We are gonna buy it. And I pointed this area out here, but then I put a black line right here. And the reason was because of these dual moving averages. It's a 100 and a 200, and they were absolutely married together. You could not separate them, okay? And if I could have gotten that move, oh man, I would have been all over it. Take a look at the fib level. We would have been below a 618, coming close to a 786. I would have pounded this for double size easily. But I didn't get it, okay? I didn't get what I wanted. The pullback wasn't strong enough. All it did is come down here, and I think I took 1 or 2 pieces long. That was it. Do I feel sad right now? Darn straight I do. Better believe it. It went up. I got out here. It went up more. I'm out here. I'm gone. And where's my longs now? I'm sitting here crying, man. Once again, I'm praying. Baby, come back. Please. Come back for me. Don't just run away without me. All right? It's a daily buy, and it has a ton of room to go higher. A ton. So, as a trader, I seek to buy stuff. I hope you do too. But I want to buy stuff that makes sense, at price points that make sense. Support and resistance is one thing. That's good. Fibs are good. I like them. Dips are great. Okay, I love dips. But you know what I really want? I want a buy bar. I want a bar that tells me, hello, get long, don't be a fool. Okay? If this can come down here or here, I'd love to be long. You know, I should be clicking my orders in. All right, so anyway, this morning we woke up. We just made absolutely hundreds and hundreds of pips. I had another day that went over 3%. It was pretty cool. And one of the other pairs that we traded to was the pound Australia. We were long. It was dipping like mad, and all in here, I'm telling my roomies, buy it, buy it, buy it. We rocked out 300 pips to the north. Did you see the same thing on the pound yen? It's incredible. So as you look at your charts each day, this is going to be my recommendation. Okay, number one, pay attention. Pay attention to the clock. Every hour on the hour. Take all your charts that matter, every one of them. Every major currency, like New Zealand or Australia, okay? Every major currency like euro or pound, okay? Every major currency there is, like the yen, okay? Like the Swiss franc, you know, like Canada. Cross this stuff by itself, and these are the charts you get. They're the only charts that matter. It's the only thing that makes any sense in the world is these charts right here. And every hour, take a look. Where are you? Have you pulled into support? Have you pulled into resistance? Is it a buy? Is it a sell? You got to know. You got to look. If you don't look, you won't know. There's no hope. All right, so that's the first thing that you should do, is really pay attention. And the next thing I'd really like to say is trading with the trend involves knowing when the trend is your friend and knowing when the trend is just about up, when its goose is cooked, when it's gone too far and it's most likely to stall, and when you need to be scaling out. Market makers, you know they scale in. At least I hope you do. I hope you know that. If you don't know that, that's a sad thing. Market makers, they don't put their whole position on in one lump sum. They don't just say, well, this is it. We're at that hard concrete number now. I'm just going to go ahead and go long 20 standard lots right here. No, they don't do that, okay? They scale in. Market makers scale in and they scale out as the price moves in their direction. Okay? If you would do the same thing, you'll have a lot more peace, you'll have a lot more comfort, you'll have a lot more safety, and you'll have a better feeling, because sometimes you're looking at price and you're saying, this looks pretty good, this is coming down, I kind of like it, and I think I'll take a little slice, dip my toe in the water, just to see how it feels, and see if it's ready to turn yet. And let me tell you, there are times that you dip your toe in the water and one piece is all you're getting. I mean, you nailed it right, and that's all there is to it. You never had a chance to add, and boom, down it goes, and you're sad, and you're saying, oh wow, I wish I bought more. So what we're looking at right now is US Japan. And a bunch of days ago, as we were coming up here towards this 114 level, me and my roomies, we had noticed this, all right? We noticed this 4-hour bear harmonic. We noticed it on the 1-hour chart too, okay? And we drew in a line, and we said this is the B target, and we're just going to go ahead and short it, okay? Now, right here is where we started. I'm getting short. It's going against me. I'm getting short. Pulls back a little bit, goes up against me. I'm getting short more. By the time we went up here, I believe I had something like 5 or 6 pieces short altogether. I collected my position. Not full. I mean, I didn't make it all the way. My maximum bullet size is 10, and every once in a while I'll stretch that a little bit. I might go 13 or 14 bullets, but I start sweating a little bit. It'll test my metal when I go over 10, okay? I don't like to do it. So I had like 5 or 6 pieces short, and I waited, and we came down, we hit the target, we were gone. We flipped, and we got long, all right? We flipped, we got short. As it crashed, we were long. I'm telling you, I'm not making it up. I ain't lying to you. I ain't sitting here looking at a chart right now and pulling your stinking leg. I got no reason to impress you, to try and sell you that I'm some trading god. I'm not a trading god, okay? It's very simple. There is a certain thing that I have swallowed, and I swallowed it right down into my soul. It comes from Mark Douglas's book, Trading in the Zone. Here's the quote, exactly as far as I know. We know nothing for sure, and we don't have to in order to make money. I repeat, we know nothing for sure, and we don't have to in order to make money. We just have to have a plan. And I got a plan. My plan is scale in and scale out. I'm seeking price improvements. You see this fall? I'm telling you, I'm long. I'm buying it. Me and my room were buying it, okay? And we were thinking that it could potentially come up here where this is. And I even said, guys, maybe, I don't know for sure, but maybe it can make it all the way up to here, and hit into the moving average and everything. I said, but I don't know. I mean, this one seems a little more okay, and this one I'm not so sure about. That's exactly what I told him. And as we dipped, okay, we got long, and it rocked up. We're scaling out. This dip all down in here, we are nothing but long. We're just long. And as we came up again, we're scaling out. Now, some of my roomies actually held it and got some pieces that went higher. And when we were very close up here, I was like, man, you better bail out. You better get out. I started saying, I think you ought to book your trade, or, put your in-the-money stop loss up nice and high. And right after that, I can see, we got a little hourly hammer. There's some pullback, and now it's right back down again, okay? But the whole thing is, I don't want to buy when stochastics are peaked like this and prices are up like crazy. I want to release what I took when things were low, okay? I hope that helps. I'm going to try and look at a few more here. This is the Australia dollar on the daily chart, okay? And we were looking at this a couple of days ago as a short. The reason is we had a gap, and it gapped really high, and we came very close to the 200, and it just really physically at the time looked extremely overbought to me. And I said, guys, just get short. It's going to go down. It's going to fill the gap. I don't know how long it'll take. It might take a day. It might take two. I can't tell. And eventually, you can see the 4-hour chart. We made some double top action. I was still preaching it short here, saying short it. We're going down. And it took a little longer than I thought, to actually fill this gap. But it has filled the gap and even more. Okay, so looking at the chart right now, the 4-hour chart. All right, look at the daily chart right now. You see 4 days down. You see 4 days down to support. Okay, if you're going to put your fib level in here, right, you do this. Are you closing in on a 786 fib? Let me move this black line down a little bit then. Okay, you see the 786 fib? You see the moving average? What kind of trend are we in? We're in an uptrend. Well, traders like to do what in uptrends? They like to buy stuff, right? Well, it's in an uptrend. So, I mean, you're kind of getting what you want, right? You're getting a pullback, yes? Look at the stochastics right here. They're getting buried. You're starting to enter support. What would I be doing? I'd be buying. All right, I don't have any intention of selling this right now. None. Zero. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Look at it. You're making a beautiful retracement to support. 4 days down with buried stochastics. We will soon stop and it will pop. Now, how many days is it going to take to pop? Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe it comes down here and kisses this. Maybe it goes a little bit lower. I'd start to scale in and I'd wait for a really nice big peak. Okay? And if it can make it up, here, or if it can make it up to here, possibly that high. You never know. Maybe you'll get it. Maybe you won't. This is the area I'd be scaling out. I would want to leave trades. Longs collected down here should be released up here and up here if you can make it. You always want to try and keep a Jesse Livermore runner if you can. All right. So that's the way I look at my charts. I look at higher time frames. I look at daily charts, weekly, monthly. Very, very important to know where you are. And I drop in down 4 hour, 1 hour, etc. And I scale in. So trading with the trend, in my humble opinion, and this is going to sound weird, is actually fighting the trend. This is a downtrend. I've got 4 days down. Can't tell you how bad I want to fight that trend. Can't even tell you. I want to buy every dip I could get for the purpose of it moving back up again and me scaling out. When the new trend comes, I want to release into it. Now, another myth that people have been taught is to never add to a losing position. If you're an all-in trader and you're just going to trade one size, that's it. I trade full standards, make or break, that's all there is to it. You're putting all your eggs in one basket and you're doing it in one shot, one kill. What do you do if the trade goes 20 pips or 30 pips against you? Do you bail out? All right, let's think about that right now. Well, I like your idea, Robin Hood. I'm going to go ahead and take it. Boom, and you buy. And then it sinks like 20 pips lower. Do you panic and freak out and say, it went 20 pips lower, I'm done? And do you sell out? Take a $200 loss because you put a standard on and you weren't a trading god? And you didn't pick the bottom? You didn't pick the absolute bottom? You liked it at one price, it crashes 20 pips more, and all of a sudden you hate it? Does that make any sense? You're a clothing importer for a very large store. I don't know. What are some stores out there? Abercrombie and Fitch. I don't know. Pick any one of the big clothing stores out there. And your job is to go out there and find a bunch of clothing. Cheap. Your boss hired you. They gave you $65,000 a year plus extra money and said, go out and find me a ton of clothes. Get them cheap. Right? So you contact all your distributors and they say, how many you want? I want 20,000 pieces. How many you want on this? I want 30,000 pieces. We're going to distribute them between all 300 stores. Okay? All of a sudden, your manufacturer calls you up and says, hey, I got to tell you, we got to close out. Man, we're gonna sell them all. Every last one. You take them? Well, how many you got? 10,000. Oh, that's a lot. I don't know. How much are they? $5. $5? My God, you made me pay $9.95 wholesale for them, and I'm trying to sell these things for 30. And now you want to sell me 10,000 pieces for $5? Ah! And you just throw your hands up in the air and run out screaming? Hell no. Do you know what you do? You buy it all up. You say, send me all 10,000. And you go ahead and pay your $5. And you ship them to all the stores and say, guys, we've got an incredible deal. Mark it up. $30. Okay, it's going to be $30. And we're going to do a half price sale. Blow them all out for 15. Well, you just got them all for 5. And you're blowing all them dresses out for, look at that. It just spiked down while I'm speaking. That's so funny. News just came out. So you blow them all out for 15. You still made your 300% times 15,000 pairs that you bought, right? You get it. See, I hope you get it. So scaling in is a good thing. You're looking for these spikes. Somebody else is suffering pain. And you get to be a good Samaritan, you lucky devil, you. You get to jump up and say, oh, hello, Mr. Investor. I'm so sorry that that's causing you pain. You sucked up all those longs for 4 days, and then you bought more, and more, like a stupid fool buying tops. And I feel so bad for you. You're crushed right now. You're hurting. Let me come over there and help you out. And you step up to the plate, and you take their trade off their hands because they're throwing up in a porcelain bowl. They can't handle it. They're puking their stomach lining out. And are you going to be a bad man, or are you going to be a good man and go help out your fellow investor that doesn't know what the heck he's doing? Okay? I'm just saying, do the right thing. Step up to the plate and help somebody else out that's suffering, okay? Buy that thing and wait till it goes up higher, you know? That's all I can say, guys. You got to know when a trade is coming to an end. I wish I had more time. I've talked for an hour. I feel kind of bad. I hope I didn't waste your time. But, really, if you like it at one price, how come you don't like it a little bit more at another? How come you're not falling in love with it at another price? And just thanking your lucky stars that you even had a chance to put on a third or a fourth little piece. If you would lower your trade size down to something that doesn't hurt you so much, stops giving you heart attacks, making you panic, making your palms sweat, if you just lower your size down and start diversifying your trades over a whole bunch of spectrum out there, you might actually relax. You might actually enjoy trading. Okay, I had a more than 3% day today, and I think it was over 3% yesterday. So it was a pretty good day. It was a pretty good week. Last week I did I think it was a little bit more than 10%. So I'm having a bang up time, man. And you know what? I just kick back and sit back in my treehouse office, sipping coffee, eating bacon and eggs, and hunting for things to buy and sell. Okay, and every hour when this hourly clock hits, on the hour, I start searching all my candles and trying to find something else I can buy or sell. And I think about it. I engage the brain. Okay, I actively do that. Highly encourage you to do the same. Okay, so I'm sorry I ate up so much of your time, but I would try and say, trading with the trend is finding when it's over, and you're going to reverse. Never add to a losing position. It's just about the stupidest darn thing I have ever heard in my life. I add to losing positions all the time. Today, as a matter of fact, I even told my roomies, I pray it goes against me. It was on pound. It was on pound New Zealand, the one I had showed you just earlier, where that black line was down at the 100 and the 200 MA. I told my roomies, I pray it goes against me. I really hope so. Dear God, please let it crash so I can buy more. But it didn't. Sometimes you get what you want, and sometimes you don't. Okay. Let me just give you one more pair real quick. Just real fast. I'll give you one more. Okay, so this will be the last pair, and I'm hitting right on about 60 minutes right now, so I'll finish with this. Yesterday, when this US dollar SEK, this is a 1 hour chart of US dollar SEK, when this thing was falling, this is me. I'm getting long. Now, I only longed 2 pieces down here in the lows. I never even got my third or fourth or anything. I just got 2. When it moved up here, I was gone. This very morning, right there, that actual candle, I saw it first thing in the morning, right while I was doing my top-down analysis. This was either 8 o'clock or maybe it was shortly after. Instantly bought it. Instantly targeted, I think it was right here, is where I said that we're going to go here. This is about 270 pips, and it went very, very fast. It sounds great. It sounds wonderful. 270 pips. It sounds, woohoo. Yeah, it sounds great. It's not the same as a euro pip, okay? It was only about 60 pips of actual value. US dollar value would be 60 pips, okay? But it was 270 actual pips. So as it went up like this, we took off half of it right here. And then we got out the other half when it hit the target. Okay, so what was I doing? Am I trading against the trend? I mean, seriously, look at the chart. Okay, I'm getting long down in here, but it's going down. You're trading against the trend. Yeah, I know. I was trading against the trend. But why would you do that? Why would you add to a losing position? You're trading against the trend. It's going down. Well, it's because I mixed it with patience. See, I saw this. And I saw support, and I looked at the US dollar index, and I looked at all the other correlations, the euro, the pound, everything. I'm not just looking at one chart, okay? And this determined to me that I need to be long. And I got it. I mean, if you wait for the trend to engage, and you start buying up here, you're negative, right? You know, down here, this is crashing, and I bought. And I only got one piece right there. Never got a chance to get a second one. I just saw the 15-minute, hit it perfectly. Hooray. It went up, it hit resistance, I'm out. It's a short-term trade, you know? Anyway. All right, so I hope the video was a help to you. And if it was, you know, please give me a like or a thumbs up or however that works. And, you know, try and lower your position sizes down so you don't trade like a scared little baby, okay? I would highly recommend that, all right? And I wish you all safe trading, happy trading day tomorrow, and God bless. Thanks for watching. Till next time, Robin Hood signing out.